Coach Stephen Francis says Tia Clayton froze in the finals of the women's 100 meters, but Romain Beckford makes history in the men's high jump finals. And disaster for the women's 4x400 meter relays Jamaican team. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button until we continue to grow. You do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, ready? Yeah, good to go. Well, after becoming the first Jamaican in almost 50 years to make the finals of a men's high jump at the Olympic Games, Jamaica's Romain Beckford, the NCAA high jump champion, bowed out in the 10th spot. But I know this is not a medal, people, but it's the first person to do this from Jamaica in 50 years. So this is a huge deal. And again, changing of the guard, this is a young man. Romain Beckford did himself well, bowing out at 2.22 meters. A little shy of his personal best, which I believe is 2.27 meters. 10th place is solid in the finals of the Olympic Games high jump. I know they don't want to see that, do not think other things, but trust me, this is a bright future. It was disaster for the Jamaican women's 4x400 meter relay team, who easily won their heat 2 going into this final. They were certainly a medal hopeful. The team, which comprised of Stacey Ann Williams on the first leg, Anjanette Knight on the second leg, Cheyenne Salmon on the third, and Stephanie Ann McPherson, were not able to advance beyond the second leg, where disaster struck. It was the United States who won this one in 3 minutes 15.27, an area record. Netherlands came second in 3 minutes 19.50, a national record. Great Britain, 3 minutes 1972, another national record. Ireland fourth in 3 minutes 19.90, another national record. France, also a national record of 3 minutes 21.41. Canada, 3 minutes 22.01, and Belgium 3 minutes 22.40. Season's best for the last two. That was an incredible race. Now, unfortunately, this is what happened. Stacey Ann Williams repped really well, handed off the baton in, I believe, first or second space, first, I think, to Anjanette Knight. Coming around this bend, you can see Rasheedat Adeleke of Ireland overtaking Anjanette Knight to her right, and in that process, Adeleke hand hits out the baton out of Anjanette Knight's hand. So we did not finish the race. I mean, boy, people, I don't know. You know, it's one of those days. Do not be mad at Anjanette Knight. It was clearly Adeleke whose hand hit out the baton, and I mean, it wasn't done intentionally. These things happen. Nobody said nonsense like she should have hold on to the baton. I mean, I think she seemed to have had the baton as secure as possible. By my estimation, the Adeleke's hand hit her twice, and the second time the baton flew out, and she cannot finish the race without the baton. This was very unfortunate because this was a huge medal possibility for us. Now, I know many of you are very, very passionate, but please, these athletes give their all. They would not intentionally do anything like this because these people train for years for a 1 minute race. So please be considerate when you speak of them. Now, Tia Clayton is arguably the find of the women's sprints out of Jamaica in the last 12 months. I would say early in the year it was Brianna Liston, but certainly since the Jamaican National Championships, one cannot argue that Tia Clayton has had one heck of a second half of the 2024 season, and at the Paris Olympic Games, in her semi-finals, no doubt, ran the third fastest time for the entire series of the women's 100 meters at the Paris Olympic Games, winning her semi-final in a time of 10.89 and very impressively. Tia dominated with that 10.89 ahead of Daryl Nita and T.T. Terry. Now, in the finals, where she was heavily expected to take a medal. She came 7th, running 11.04 behind the winners, Jordan Alfred Shakari Richards, who came 2nd, and in 3rd spot was Melissa Jefferson, who ran 10.92 to take 3rd. Richardson ran 10.87 to take 2nd, and Alfred 10.72, a national record, to take 1st. So in other words, if Tia Clayton had managed to run that 10.89, she would have at least taken the bronze medal. Now, the genius coach Stephen Francis of MVP, who is her coach, breaks down for us all vis-a-vis an interview he just did with the Jamaica Observer, where he explains what happened to Tia, why he thinks she didn't make the podium, and talks about her future. This is pretty interesting.
What's next for Tia? Planning on any Diamond League races?
Oh, yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, Tia is in the process of learning how to be a professional. She froze, I believe, in the final. I mean, there were a lot of things which she wasn't accustomed to. I think primarily the weather. Like it had gotten cold.
The food as well?
Yeah, but I mean, she did run 10:89 in the semis. She ran the 3rd best time in the championships.
Right.
But I think that the weather plus the reality that she was in contention, plus I mean, yeah, probably some phone things she saw and that, you know, kind of let her freeze. But while I wish it was different, I realized it was possible.
Right.
And so I think she has learned a lot, and you know, one of the things that she has to learn, which I believe I'm going to try to implement among the athletes, is for them to delete social media before they start to run and that kind of stuff.
Because, take out a distraction.
Yeah, there's too much of distraction and they spend too much time on the phones and that kind of stuff. And you know, but I am proud of how she ran. Even though I still don't think she has run as fast as she could.
Right.
But it's a big step running as well as she did at a meet at this level, where they have the it's one thing running against people who are not the best. But another thing, when you stand up against the best people around, that's a little bit harder to run very well.
Right. So maybe another, as you say, 1 or 2 more Diamond League before the end.
She'll probably run in three more in an effort to make the Diamond League final.
Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. I've said in recent videos and prior to the series that we're witnessing a changing of the guard. I've also said that please understand that these are very young people. Tia Clayton is 19. Alana Reid is must be 18. Kemba Nelson now like 23. These are really, really, really young human beings. And all the 4x1, for instance, every person on that 4x1, I believe that was their very first Olympic Games, including Sasha Lee Forbes. We did extremely well. Extremely well. And I understand the frustration. I understand that sometimes when we are not adept at expressing how we feel, we become angry and we express it in a negative. You know, like someone actually wrote something about Jamaica being, and I was like, what? How could you ever reference your country in that way? This country is the greatest country on earth. I mean, I can only imagine what would happen if we were all super disciplined. We would take over the entire planet. I mean, we're not the most disciplined people. I love us very much, but it's the truth. But I mean, just by sheer will, look at what we can do. Imagine if we're disciplined and positive. A positive attitude is unimaginably important. And that's why sometimes we have to be very careful what we say, because he just said it. We have to be careful. You want us. I mean, we want our athletes to do well. You can't be saying negative things about them before they go on race. It don't make no sense. I mean, hold it until after. I mean, we really have to understand that social media has changed everything. It has. And I mean, I realize that I mean, we're human beings, and I guess we are impacted by what people think and say. But if you are supporting these athletes, you can't be saying negative things about them before they run a 100-meter final. I mean, come on. In the Olympic Games, the creme de la creme, there's nothing bigger than that. No Diamond League, no world, nothing come close. The Olympic Games is it. And at 19, she won a semi-final in the third fastest time throughout the entire series, 10.89. And in the freezing rain, remember I said rain did that pour, you know. Should I use them something there? She ran 7th. She ran 11:04, and some people are saying, oh, 11:04. Listen, when I see one put on a spike, I'm going to run 11:04. If you love when you run 20 over the 100 meters, you're not lucky. I mean, come on, man, be pragmatic. And also be realistic. Shelly, Sharika, and Elaine could not have ran forever. Merlin Ottey, I believe, has the record for winning at must be the oldest age in 100 meters. I think she was in her late 40s. Merlin Ottey and Shelly and Fraser Price are not normal. Normal people can't run beyond 30 or 31 or 32. So we should have prepared ourselves psychologically, because I don't know if you notice or not that on this channel, we talk about the stalwarts, we talk about the icons, but we talk a lot about the youngsters. I can tell you that I was the first person to talk about Karika Hill. I was absolutely the first person to talk about Alhana Reid, because I crunched the numbers. You have to look to the future, people. We can't keep reacting. We have to plan. That's something I tell my own children. One of the challenges that we have as a group is that we react. We don't plan. We should have seen the writing on the wall. We should have seen that at some point, these greats would have to stop run, or they will not be at their best. Now, Sharika is still very young. Elaine is young enough, she may recover, but I don't know if Shelly is going to be running for much longer. Tia Clayton is the future. Brianna Liston, Kemba, all these people are the future, and you need to support them. The truth is what they've just accomplished. One of the youngest teams in the history of the Olympic Games, 4x1, made top 5. That's incredible. Incredible. After waiting in pouring rain, in conditions that none of these 4 young ladies are used. And this young lady came 7th in the Olympic Games 100-meter finals in her first Olympic Games. I get it, you know. I get that it is easier to complain. I understand. And I understand your emotions. I mean, I'm disappointed too. But I'm also excited, because what I see is incredible. What I see is an incredible future. This is a 19-year-old who just ran 10.89 in the semifinals, winning the semifinals against some of the best athletes in the world in the Olympic Games. I would not dare to tell you, my brothers and sisters, not to vent, not to be disappointed, not to be hurt, not to be angry. That's okay. I am disappointed. But you know what? It's always been my nature to see failure as an opportunity to learn. I believe what I've seen, the Romain BECFORDs, the Tia Claytons, the Akira Nugents, the future for Jamaican track and field is unimaginably. And what's even more incredible is that now we have the field events. We're becoming dominant there. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button. Remember, your royals, kings, and queens. Bless up!